All right, I'd like to welcome you all to Working with Portraits webinar designed to support the Memory Book online yearbook program. Our goal this afternoon will be to focus on functions of the program associated with student portraits. Specifically, we will be reviewing printing class sheets, other sheets for parents to review, teachers to review, whoever may be working on your yearbook. Strategies for detecting duplicate images, correcting student names, categorizing students, and using the flow function to create portrait pages. The webinar should be approximately 30 minutes. And so now let's go ahead and get started. So as you log into your memorybook.com account, you log in, you get a screen just like the one you are seeing right here. To get to our image library, we're going to go to Create, Image Library. And here we have of our portraits right here. Our portraits can be uploaded based on class, based on grade, or based on, this case, class and grade. This is done right here in case you have maybe two Joneses or something like that. That way you can distinguish which one is which. Now to print a class list for your advisor or for your teachers or staff, whoever may be working on these, to get corrected, to make sure the right picture is used, make sure the right names are used and spelled correctly. We're going to go up here, we're going to click on a class, any class you want. So in this case, we're going to click on Atkins. We come up to preview right here, and as you can see, there's a drop down here that says preview this selected category's images in a PDF. We're going to click preview. And here we have a preview in a PDF that we can print off. We see the photos, we have the names underneath it, and here's where you can pass those out to those people that need it, and then they can make corrections and ensure that names are spelled correctly. All right, next we're going to talk about coverage reports. We're going to go to Create, we're going to go down here to Coverage Report. Coverage report right here lets us see all the names that have been tagged. So all the students, staff, everybody right here that's been tagged, we can see those. We can sort by last name, sort by first name, sort by grade, whatever homeroom, whatever you want to sort them by. Right here we have number of times in block. This tells us how many times this image has been used. This is a good idea to check to make sure every image has been used at least once in your book, or to tell which images have been used quite a bit. Here you can also export your list. You can merge duplicates. So here we have duplicate people right here. So we could click this right here. Oh, sorry. Right here we can say merge with this person. Come down here to the bottom corner right here and hit apply changes, and those two pictures would merge. Here you can also change names. So if you have your big list of people, you can put you can change it either by grade, by homeroom, or teacher, and then from there you can look at all the names and change the names accordingly after you get that sheet back. But it's as simple as clicking on the name. See, Emily, is it spelled with an IE, spelled with a Y? As soon as you make that correction, that correction will be done on the actual image. Oh, which class is she in? Howard. There we go. So there's Emily right there. We've changed her name in the coverage report, and it changes her name right here. All right. So next we're going to talk about adding students. These are students that may have no photos at all right here. So we're going to grab a no photo, and we're going to click and hold, and we're going to hover over here over the name. You'll see the word move right before the numbers. That lets you know you can move it. Just let go. Click there, and there you go. You have your image right here. Here we're going to, on these photos, every time you hover over one, you're going to see this little blue dot. That is where you can edit the information on here. So here we're going to go to add, and we're going to add a name. Oh, there we go. Cap lock on. So here you can change the name. You can assign a grade, student ID, homeroom, whatever information that you deem pertinent, you can add it here. We're going to hit save. We see this box is opened up, and we're going to click done. He has moved from this area over to this area. Okay, so let's see. We have it set for no audio in your end. Now let's see. Let me check some here real quick. Let's see. Okay, I'm not seeing anything on my side that says anyone is off. All right, so let's keep moving. So here we noticed that the no photo has moved from here to here. This area right here is alphabetical order. So the photo will move right up here. One little troubleshoot. Let's go back to no photo. You'll notice that all these say the same thing. Be careful naming these, because if you name one, such as this individual here, and you need another one, make sure you remove. If there is information right here, make sure you remove it, then hit add, and then add the child's name. So I'll show you here. So we're going to come to this one. We're going to remove, hit add. All right. And you see that one changed individually, but the rest, even though the rest of them stayed the same, this one changed. So if you have this issue, if you accidentally name it and then you come in here and you see all of these are named the same thing, that's what you have to do. Just click on this little dot, remove that, then add it. All right. Also on this light table, here is where you can add, you could change whether or not you want to use a photo or who that person is. On some of these students here, you can also come in real quick and edit. You can edit their name, last name, and other information here. Now, if we have a situation where you have a student who does not belong in the class, like this thumbs up guy, click and hold. All you have to do is drag them over. To move, to any one of these classes, you'll see the word move but right before the numbers. And just click, and the individual is moved to a new class. All right, so now let's get into actually flowing some of these. So we're going to go to Plan, Page Ladder. We're going to come up here to a blank page. So now to flow images into here, we're going to come down all the way over here to Flow. Now these little 6 buttons right here are known as flow elements. And we're going to drag the first one over here. Now when I drag this up, you will see that the toolbar has opened up here. For whatever reason that you click off, that toolbar goes away. All you have to do is just click on this little box right here. You'll know it's a flow element because it has yellow perforated edge around here, little dots. That's how you know it is a flow element. Right here you have a font. You can change the font of the names. You can change the size of the names. One thing to keep in mind is that if you change them too big, you can get this red X. This red X will let you know that those names are too big, or there might be conflict, or if the name is too long, then you need to change that. You'll see that there are even numbers. You can't go to odd numbers. All you have to do is highlight, hit 7, enter, and you'll see that the names have actually changed. You come back to 8, and you see the names have changed again. Right here, you can change the color of the names, and we'll get to that in the next page here. If you want to get real creative, you can add a stroke style, put the border around the images, and you can go to shape color, stroke style, and in here you can actually pick different colors. All right, so there we go. Next one is the flow options. This is probably, you'll use this a little bit more. Now, so now to get this out of your way, this little box, get this out of your way so you can use it. This little thumbtack right here, just click it and it turns it to an X, and then you can move that over here and then work with your page here. So with this selected, here we can change the number of rows, well, the number, rows, number of columns. So we can get as creative as we want. We can also change the height. As you can see right here, it will actually notify you whether or not you are approaching the limit of the width or the height. So if you want them a little bit taller, all you have to do is just take out a row, and you can change how short they are, how tall they are, and how wide they are. Next is this spacing. This is the spacing in between all the photos. I really wouldn't change those. Next, you can also change the shape to circles, pentagon, octagon. You can change those to anything you want. You can also just as simply round off the corners right here. So I'm actually going to add. No, actually, let's see. Let me lower that. There we go. Let me add that. Next, so let's say we float our page here, and we want to instead move it over here. But as you can see, the names are on the inside of the page, and you want them on the outside of the page. All we have to do is go to Name Options, Names on Left Horizontal, and change it to Names on Right Horizontal. So just that simple. And we do have names on top, names on bottom, and then just names on the individual size. So it all depends on which way, how you want to set up everything. All right, next, as we're happy with everything, and you want, real quick here, if you double click on this, you'll see the little eyes in here in the corner. You can actually click on those. Click right off of, and you can see there's a little blank spot. That's that. You can leave that open to put like a little image or something like that you want into it. So once you're happy with this, we're going to go over here to our category. The category is where the teachers are, or the staff, the classrooms and everything like that. So we're going to select Atkins right here. Name format, whether you want first name first, last name first, it depends on how you want the names to be formatted on the page. You'll notice that we have 44 images, 0 float images, 44 images remaining. And we want to start right here. The start is on your page, according to your page. We want to start on page 2. So we're going to change that to a 2. And we want to stop on page 2. I know it's going to save 0 available positions. So we're going to come up here and we're going to hit save, located right underneath the help button. And then you'll change, and you'll see right here, it says 50 available positions. Right, click on here. We're going to come down to our green flow button. We're going to hit flow, and there we go. It is that simple. The students are flowed in here. The names are also flowed in as well. Nope, let me hit that back. Now, as we look, well, I already see some issues. I see some issues that we need to correct on this. First off, that teacher should be the first person. Here we got 2 images here, and we got 2 images here. We shouldn't have those, and this is the wrong image. This is the retake. All right, we can get this fixed. So to get this fixed, to get the images off of there, we're going to come back over here to where we just hit the word flow, and we're going to hit reset right next to it. And reset, as you see, takes all the images off there. Also, it leaves a bit of a blank spot right here, but don't worry, those boxes aren't gone. They're just hidden. Double click, and then you can bring those boxes back should you say, for instance, you have another student join you. Now let's go back to our image library. Actually, let's cancel and let's save. Let's go back to our image library and let's fix some issues here. First off, if you remember, we had this individual is the teacher. He should be the first one there. So we're going to go down to details, caption, teacher. Yep. Use the portrait. Yep. We want to use the portrait. Here we go. Type is student. It's not a student. He's a teacher. So we just click on that. Move to teachers, apply changes, and click done. You'll notice he didn't move from this section because, again, this area is alphabetical. Now, these two images were duplicates. So we're going to click on the little blue dot, find which one is the best image, because one could be a retake. Click details, go to use portrait, and we're going to go down to don't use portrait. Apply changes, and click done. This right here tells the system to not use that portrait. I wouldn't delete it just in case, but we're going to tell the system to not use that portrait. These two are, well, if you look at that, they're twins. So they're not duplicate images. So that would be fine. And here, right here, this is the image that wasn't supposed to be used. And then we're going to keep the image that we were told to use. All right. So now let's go back to plan, page ladder. Go back to page 2, 3. Again, we're going to make sure our category is set up for the correct class, name format. Our start on page 2, stop on page 2, come down, and we're going to hit flow. And there we go. Our teacher is now first. The duplicate image here is gone. And the original image, not the retake, is now gone. So there we go. Next, we're going to talk about what if your image, and I get this question a lot, what if the image is a dark color? Here, we're going to click on here. We're going to click on a class. Start on page 4. Stop on page 4. Hit flow. Here we go. These images flowed. You can see, we'll click on a little closer. You see the names are on a dark surface, so that's easy to do. We're going to reset so we can get our options back. Come up here, make sure the A is highlighted, make sure the fill is highlighted, and we're going to go this gold color. All right, hit save because we made a change. Come back to flow, flow the names in, and as you can see, it is on the lighter color on a darker surface. And if we go over here to underneath showcase, this little printer icon, then takes it a second, then you can actually see what the page is actually going to look like. So you can actually see it's not a really dark background, but it's dark enough that black writing would not show up. Now, from here, if you want to get really creative, you can come up here to expand flow. Once you've expanded the flow, this is no longer a flow element. These are now individual photos and names. So if you make a mistake or you do something, you cannot reset. You can reset. Just a minute. There we go. So right here, you can actually get creative and change the names should you wish. So next, some of you may not want to do just the regular flow element, you may want to do some templates, something like this. Something like this, and if you bring it over, it is a flow element here and here. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna click. So right here. So different, and these are all flow elements. So to get some of these designs here, you go over to design, and you're going to go under portrait, and you can either do all portrait and sit there and go through all these and decide which ones you want. And all you do is click and hold, drag it over. Okay, it just asks to say, hey, anything on that page is going to get erased. And so there you go. These little portrait plates right here are a flow element, a large image, a small image, some writing, however you want to do it. Right here we have, if your class size is say 20 to 30, say it has like 24 students. So in 21 to 30, these are all designed for 21 to 30 students. Again, click and hold. And there you go. And that's a flow element right there. All right. At this time, we'll open it to anyone that has any questions. So if you have any questions, you can either type or go ahead and unmute yourself and ask.
That big entrance in the front, it was a huge department store called Gibson, I think.
So flash forward to me and being little, I've never known anything center or off to the left.
Our portrait uploads are from the photographer. They are either from yourself uploading the photographs, or you have sent them in to us to be uploaded. If you send them into us, please make sure that you say how you want them uploaded, either by class, by grade, and then we upload them, and then they appear here in your image library. And you can either send us the CD, a thumb drive, or we transfer and send them us through that way. All right. Any other questions?
So there's still other stuff in there?
Back in there? Yeah, when you first go in the big entrance.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and end the recording. And